Here's our law of cosines video. There's several variations of this equation out there in textbooks and online and stuff, but really we're just going to use one. So this big long equation here, after I do a couple of these, I think you'll be pretty comfortable with it. At the end, I made a note that your angle will go at the very end, and we are using law of cosine, so that cos will always be there. And we're going to have three sides. It's very similar to Pythagorean theorem, a squared, b squared, and c squared. We're going to put a squared first, and that's always going to be the side across from our angle. And b and c, and we'll also put b and c back here after the subtraction sign. When I do these problems, I kind of separate it at the subtraction sign. At b, is this going to be one of the sides? And you'll put it here and here. And then c is going to be your last side. And I'm going to be pretty consistent. Due to Pythagorean theorem, I'm going to say our c is our biggest side. I'm going to be consistent with that. So on your paper, number one is already all filled out for you. Okay? So I'm going to say A is across from our angle, and here you go. A is your x. I'm going to say B is I guess I'm going to say the medium or smaller of the two given, and C is our biggest. And as you can see, I have that one side given here, and this B, and then the other B after the 2 is here with the 7. And then C squared, I'll be consistent with Pythagorean theorem as our biggest side. There's our biggest side as C, which is 12. And it's back here multiplied to 2 times B times C at the end. Okay, so hopefully, this first one, I guess I'll go kind of slow in explaining it. So we have our x squared equals 7 squared plus 12 squared. Okay, and like I said before, I like to separate them at the minus sign. So I like to do 7 squared plus 12 squared. And then I'll get that number, which is 49 plus, that's supposed to be 144. Minus all this, 2 times 7 times 12 times cosine 65. So you'll just put that in your calculator. Cosine 65. Cosine 65 times 168. So I did all this. I put it all in my calculator once, and I'm doing it right now. 49 plus 144 minus 168 cos 65. And I get a decimal, but it's super close to 122. And then take the square root. I get right around 11. The decimal is so small, I just kept it 11. So make sure you take the square root at the end. Okay, that's how you get rid of the square. All right, so all this process I'll just show you. So I'm going to go x squared equals, I'll say b is 20. I'm going to keep 25 the smallest, or I'm sorry, 25 the biggest. Minus 2, I'll put that 20 in. And that 25. And cosine angle 108. I'm going to do 20 squared plus 25 squared in my calculator right now. and I got a 1,025. All right. So then I'm going to put my minus sign in. 2 times 20 times 25. I'll put that 800 in. That's what I get. Times, I guess I'll just put this in parentheses. And I'm going to put this in my calculator, but remember this is x squared equals. Okay, 1025 minus 800 times cosine of 108. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead. That number in my decimal is a big long decimal, and I hope that's what you got too. And my calculator shows something like this. And then I'm just going to go ahead and keep it in my calculator. I'm not hitting anything, but I'm just going to hit square root of 1272.2135. And I get right around 36 and a half, 30, I get 35.6. I might have put something wrong in my calculator, but it should have came out 36.5. Maybe I just put it in my calculator wrong. All right. So here is x squared equals 13 squared plus 17 squared minus 2 times 13 times 17 cosine 34. Hope it's pretty easy now. Now the hard part's just making sure you hit the right buttons on the calculator, which I think I already put one incorrect number in already. I got 13 squared plus 17 squared is 458. Okay, so 2 times 13 times 17, 442 times cosine 34. So maybe what I'll do now is just put all this under the calculator at once. So let's see what I get here. 458 minus 442 times cosine of 34. I got 9.56. I guess 9. It can be at 9.56, 9.6. We'll worry about it, getting to make sure we have it in our calculator correctly later on. But right now, I just want to get through this video so you have a good idea on how we use this formula. So turn it back and we'll look at how we find an angle. Okay. All right. So missing angle. Okay. So what's different on this one is I have an A to plug in. All right. So I have that. And then the angle back here is going to be my variable x. But it's the same process. So I got my 7 squared is from across the angle. 11 goes in 2 spots, b squared and between 2 and c. And my c is my biggest number, goes here and here. Okay, so got my a squared, 49. 11 squared is 121, 144. There's no typo there, or I guess righto if you mess up a writing. Okay, minus 2 times 11 times 12 is 264. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm basically treating this as a variable. So I'm kind of solving it as if it says this. I'm kind of ignoring, as I solve my equation, I'm ignoring that. Okay, so on this step here, I combine these like terms, all right, to 265. And on this step here, I'm subtracting 265 to both sides, treating this. So basically at this step here, I'm treating it just as if it was an x by itself. No cost sign there, no cost there. I'm kind of treating it just like an x. I'm solving it, isolating the variable. Okay, so what would I do here now? I would divide by negative 264. And that is how I get my 0.818. And then the last step, remember when we did trig to find an angle measurement, we hit second. So there's that, what you do, and you just hit second and put that decimal in your calculator. So now I'm hitting second on my calculator, 0.8182, and I'm going to get right around 35 degrees, 35.1 degrees. So that's how all this math works. Okay, so let's look at a new equation. First off, I got to make this come forward so it doesn't go to the back. Okay, so setting this up, I have my A is 35, it's across from X, equals, my B would be my medium, and then I'm going to say 24 is my biggest side, what's left. 2 times B is 16. Okay, times 24. I'm just going to make this X, just for, so I know it's supposed to be cost there, but just so it helps a little bit. 35 squared, 1225. 16 squared plus 24 squared is 832. 2 times 16 times 24, 768. X. I'm going to subtract the 832 from both sides now. So subtracting this. So now I got 393 equals negative 768 X. Then divide. You sure 16 squared is plus 824 squared? Yep. Okay. All right, guys. Sorry I'm back. I got distracted by an email I wanted to take care of. Okay, so negative 768 divided by negative 768. X equals, I think, negative 0.511 or something like that. And then now I'll take care of that. So I'll hit second cost, put that negative 0.511 in. And you should get right around 120 degrees and 0.7-ish, 0.8-ish, somewhere in there. All right, so what I'll have you do is I'll pause this for I'm going to have you pause for 5 seconds, or I'll pause and have you try this. So I'm going to sit here for 5 seconds, let you pause the video, and you try number 7. All right, so if you paused and tried this problem, I got right around 53.8-ish percent or degrees for my answer. I'll show you the equation I used. 21 squared equals 16 squared plus 26 squared minus 2 times 16 times 26, and I just I guess I'll put the cosine x in there. That's the equation I used. So hopefully you got a little over 53 and a half degrees, right under 54 degrees.